Welcome to Heartspeak Podcast, episode 68, Strengthening Your Resolve. Well, here we are. We're entering into the first quarter moon as the moon waxes, the light of the moon gets larger and larger. Did you see the crescent moon, by the way? How beautiful that was. And now we're in that first quarter moon. If you look up at the sky, you'll see it. The light of the moon, the sun, S-O-N, is drawing away from the dark moon, the mother. He's leaving home. He's becoming the hero. He's taking on his own power, his own strength. That's what I want you to feel, that you are strong. You have a resolve, you have a determination to go on your journey, to fulfill your destiny. Is that how you feel? Well, we're going on this journey together. And at the end of this particular episode, we will do another meditation just to really encourage you to do that. So, what journeys have you taken in your life? It is about taking a risk, isn't it? It's about doing something that may not be what the rest of the family are doing. They may be saying, why are you doing that? Are you sure you want to do that? They may, if I may say, never have taken a risk in their life. They may be people who are quite content staying where they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I remember someone in my family once saying, even if I didn't have all the commitments that I have, I wouldn't have your courage. Have you got courage? Have you got the courage to follow your heart? The word courage, coming from coeur, the French word, to follow one's heart. I've spoken about following your intuition many a time. How we know something inside us. We know we need to do this, even if we can't always explain why. Have you had those times? I remember a time, I think it was when I was leaving general practice, and that was very big because as a family doctor, a general practitioner, you literally were expected to be in that job for the rest of your life. It was like a marriage. And here I was, I'd been to Findhorn in the north of Scotland, and I'd come up with this crazy idea that I should leave general practice. Did I know what I was going to do? No. I just knew that I was dead inside. That dark night of the soul, that feeling of I have everything on the outer world and I'm dead inside. Do you know that feeling? That feeling that if something doesn't change, I'll die. And I may be being rather dramatic, but that's how I felt. I felt there was nothing I was gaining. I was not learning anything new. Yes, I was gaining money, but that wasn't enough. And I often ask myself that question. If I was given £1 million, $1 million, what would I do differently? And often the answer is nothing. Although I have to say, I did ask myself that question once when I was in private practice. I asked, if I had $1 million, what would I do differently? And my immediate response was, put your prices up. It was so interesting. I had been keeping my prices artificially low because I thought that would bring more custom. But even if I had all the money in the world, I actually wasn't valuing myself. I was living in a poverty consciousness. Anybody done that? Oh yes, just please, I'll do anything. Just let me take care of you, or let me speak, or whatever. And when I was prostituting myself, I wasn't valuing my work. I wasn't valuing really the spirit world, the guides that were working with me and through me. I wasn't valuing all the time and effort I'd spent in working. Now you might say, why is she talking about money? Because it's about valuing yourself. That's how you strengthen your resolve. It's not just having an idea. It's the knowledge and the beingness of, yes, I'm ready. I'm celebrating who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what I've done. It's like bringing everything inside you. And so when I made the decision to leave general practice, I remember that I had this anxiety that was like, yeah, what are we going to This wasn't the plan. This isn't what we were going to do. But I knew that this was a very small voice compared with the big heart of mine, the intuitive knowingness that said we need to do this. And I remember telling my mother, oh, I'm having this little anxiety that was going on. And she said, oh, yes, I can understand that. That must be because a lot of you doesn't think you should be doing this. And I said, no, you're wrong. 99% of me knows exactly that I'm doing the right thing. Only 1% of me is going, what are we doing? Have you had that knowledge? And I always feel that as I get closer to the door, the portal of change, that voice gets louder. It's very convincing. How are you going to work? How are you going to do? What are you going to do? Have you got a plan? Will you make money? What about your friends? It's got a really loud chatter. And I think there's a lot of loud chatter going on now in the midst of this viral pause. It's as if there's so much free-floating anxiety, but also questioning. What's the truth? What's not the truth? What should we do? And it really is, sometimes we can get caught up in even anxiety or anger or fear that isn't ours. Like, yeah, no, yeah, we need to talk about this. It's like, actually, that isn't me. So one of the ways of strengthening your resolve is stop taking on everybody else's problems. Because we think we're having the same anxiety. We think that we're all feeling the same way, but we're not. Your anxiety may be very different from mine if I had any, and I don't. But I'm really saying to you is, I ask everybody who tells me that they're anxious, what are you anxious about? And it isn't a judgment. I just want to know. Tell me your story. Tell me what theme is causing this anxiety continue. Well, I worry about my children. I worry about, all very reasonable. But what do you worry about your children? Well, what if they get sick? Okay. And how is that affecting you? Well, of course, you might say to me, well, you don't understand. You don't have children. I'd be so upset if they were sick. Well, is that how you look at their lives generally, that you have control whether or not they are well or not? Do you get upset all the time, whatever they're doing? Do you just want them to be happy all the time? I'm not diminishing your concern, but where are we placing our projected self on someone else? And is that actually helping them? I can remember, I mean, there's so many things I've heard people say. Like one of them that comes to mind is when a parent tells a child, I never did want you. I never wanted you. I'm never sure how that's ever going to help anybody. What part of one's accountability is in the statement is, I never wanted to give birth to you. I never wanted you. That's so selfish. And if I may remind that person, they had a choice whether they had sex and created that child. But it's so interesting how we project onto other people our stuff. And truly, that just keeps the therapist busy for a long, long time. So when I hear someone say, I'm so worried about you, even, oh, you're going to take a trip, stay safe, please stay safe, I'll pray for you. What are you saying? That you really are now going to worry about them till they come home? And what's in your prayers? Please don't let anything happen to them because it's going to affect me. I don't know. I'm just putting out the thoughts that as a 20-year-old, for instance, you've got that energy of, let's get going, let's see the world, let's step out. Well, maybe that's what I had when I was 20s and 30s. To me, life was an adventure. Life was something you lived. Did that mean that my life would be so simple? No. It was just like I didn't carry those fears until I got much older. No, but I didn't carry the fears. And I'm just putting some more ideas out there. I worked with a lot of children. I did a lot of pediatrics, and I worked with a lot of dying children. And they never said to me, oh, what a shame, I'm not going to get married and have children. Or what a shame, I'm not going to, I don't know, have a job. That isn't in their mentality. It's ours that makes us look at someone and say, what a shame. And so I'm very keen to make sure that we don't project onto other people our misery and anxiety, but also that we keep ourselves clear. So yes, sometimes you just need to put yourself in a golden bubble and say, please keep your ideas to yourself. Please don't share with me how you're feeling. Share with someone else. And sometimes we have to ask them, what is your fear, not mine? Why do you need to say that to me? What is your need to create this drama? Is this yours or is it mine? I don't feel it. Does that make sense? So really resolving, again, resolving your energy, bringing your energy back to yourself is often giving the anxieties back to someone. It might be very kind of them to worry about you, but it's actually their stuff, not yours. Does that make sense? So there was a time when I had given up jobs. I think I've told you that I used to have a year off every 7 years, so I didn't get lost in an identity. And I kept having these men, particularly very caring, coming up to me and saying, can you afford to do that? Can you afford to do that? What they meant was, have you got enough money? And it wasn't my concern. Yes, I did have enough money, but I thought, did I bring a begging bowl in? Did I even talk about money? Did I ask them for money? And I couldn't believe how they projected their fears of not having enough onto me. But I kept it. And then I think on the third person, again, 3 is such a magical number for intuition, I said, I can't afford not to. And everything changed. Nobody asked me again. It was as if my soul was saying to me, are you really honest? Are you being authentic about what you're going to do? Are you determined enough? And it's like testing our spiritual muscle. Are we really going to do this without knowing what's on the other side? And so many of the leaps I've made have been without knowing. I came to the United States without having a job or knowing what I was going to do here or where I was going to live. I knew nobody. And many a time when I left general practice, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew I had to do it. And that's where we are at the moment. We're in this cocoon. Now, some of us are not fully in the cocoon. And please, the cocoon isn't a place of emptiness, it's a place of fullness. It's a place where you're tapping into that ocean of possibilities, those dreams, those ideas that you can have. But it's only when we're empty can we hear those dreams. Sometimes we have to clear everything, and we've all been thrown into this huge space of potential. And yet we're clinging to the past. We're still the caterpillar, with however many legs a caterpillar has, holding on. So again, strengthening your resolve is often saying, yes, I could stay where I am, but is that what my heart wants? Is that what my soul wants? And you can use those phrases I use, close all the doors, not in harmony with my soul, or if I'm not meant to do this, make it really clear. But also recognize where your soul is really driving you forward beyond your little mind. In other words, the mind will come up with all the excuses, but the heart knows it's right. Follow your heart. And it's not the loving heart of kind of, oh, I love everybody. It's a knowingness. It's that sense of, if I don't do this, I haven't lived. Have you got those things on your list now? I remember years before I met my husband, I felt I had succeeded in so many things, but I had never fulfilled myself fully in a relationship. This was not about sex. This was not anything else but having an intimate, loving, trusting relationship. And I knew that time that I was saying to myself, I want to experience this before I die. I will not feel fully fulfilled unless I've experienced this. Are there things in your life that you want to experience and you haven't? And it isn't about, oh, I want a partnership. Just please don't get into the partnership or a job. What is it about that? What I wanted was a fully intimate, trusting relationship. I wanted to be held. I wanted to be special. And I wanted to find myself being special in this. I know how to take care of people, but I didn't know how to be taken care of. You understand? So what is it that your body or your soul is yearning to do? Years ago, I had a few coaching sessions, and the person said, well, what is it you want to be successful? What would mean success to you? And I actually just came back and said, actually, I realize I don't need the coaching. All you needed to say was that to me, because it isn't success I'm looking for, it's fulfillment. I've been successful in what we might call the fullness of expressing myself. But fulfillment is like is that bringing it all back to yourself, that sense of eating the fruits of your endeavor that we're going to do later on in this moon cycle. So where are you not fulfilled? And so I'm just saying, don't make your list of these are the things that will make me feel successful. Or what is it that your soul, your heart is seeking? What is your body seeking? And because we've never been in a richer time to experience this. And with Pluto going retrograde, which she's now done until October, we're being, one might say, dragged back into our deepest self. It's really asking those questions. What are the secrets? Where is the power that would help you on this journey that you've been avoiding? What is, and power, I'm not talking about power over something, power within you. What is that part of you, that determination? Where have you given up too easily? I'm being a little mean to you there, but where have you given up on yourself? Where have you not taken ownership of who you are? This is all about owning who you are, bringing it with you, and letting go of maybe some of the family traditions. Well, you'll never make anything of it, or we've never done this. And I'm sure lots of you have achieved a lot beyond your family. I mean, I hear that, I was the first person who went to college, or, I'm a rebel. But a true rebel isn't somebody who's done something different from the family, but has moved, expanded beyond it. And that, you might say, well, that's the same thing. Well, not really, because a rebel is someone who often does just the opposite of what the family says. Don't get married. Okay, I'll get married. Don't do this. I'll do it. No, you're expanding beyond them. Where are you expanding beyond your family, beyond your ancestors? And that's really when you know you're on your own path. You are self-determinant. And you may meet mentors along the way. I mentioned this in my book, The Heart of the Great Mother, the importance of mentors. And a mentor is someone who you might meet for a short period of time, a bit like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, and then they disappear from your life. Or they may have been with you a period of time, but a mentor is often someone who's just with you for a short period and leaves. Maybe they retire or they die or something, but I'm just saying is they're not necessarily there for the rest of your life. So who have been your mentors in your life? Who are the people who've encouraged you? Who are the people you want to emulate? Because that again is part of the strengthening of the resolve. Who are people who really have mattered to you? It might have been a teacher who just said, hey, keep going. I had a couple of incidents in my childhood when, for some reason, I got prizes for hard work, for diligence. And that you might say, well, okay, but these weren't prizes given to anybody else. In a sense, I didn't achieve maybe what they expected in terms of my grades, but they saw me. And I've had a few people like that who have just seen me. Maybe it was maybe on a bus, or it was on a train or a plane, but I was seen. And that was all I needed to keep going. Or maybe it was someone who maybe your family weren't big into reading books. And this was a next door neighbor who was fascinated with books and had a great library. Did you go there and love the books and you started writing because of this? So who have been your mentors that have helped you along the way? So I'm bringing together today really, hopefully, memories as well as that determination. You are not your parents. You are not your ancestors. They have given you gifts, but you are more than them. It's not to deny you believing in them and really feeling that they have brought you to where you are. But what is it you need to take from them and in some ways say, hey, I'm leaving home. Maybe you left home a long time ago. But where are you still the little child, if I may say? Where are you still the child who is taking care of their parents, maybe? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking physically or emotionally. I'm just saying, where have you not stepped out on your own path? And this very much may come back to the first 5 years of your life. That those first 5 years are especially years where a mother both holds the child to the breast, but also weans the child from the breast and weans them onto Mother Earth. In other words, she says, this is where Mother Earth is where your food will come from. Mother Earth is where your dreams will come from. Mother Earth is what will sustain you. That's what we're supposed to do. But sometimes the roles reversal, or sometimes the mother will hold on too long, or maybe she pushes you off too quickly and you don't feel secure on this earth. So sending the roots into the earth, putting your feet on the ground, trusting Mother Earth, but trusting yourself as if you are a strong being. So let's finish with a meditation. As always, I would suggest you don't do this meditation if you're driving or not able to close your eyes. Wait until we've gone beyond that point. But wherever you are, if you're able to close your eyes, please to close your eyes. And you can be lying down or you can have your feet on the ground. I don't mind this time. As always, take a few deep breaths, taking a short breath in, long out breath. As you breathe out all the thoughts floating around in your mind. Just let Mother Earth have them. And be very present in your body. Now gently take your awareness to your heart chakra, center of your chest. Just imagine that's a really deep doorway, a portal. Some of you know what a torus is, T-O-R-U-S, a multi-dimensional doorway. Now don't go through it. Just feel that as you see the movement of the heart, which is this movement that's eternal, you connect to something that knows who you are. It's as if every part of you comes together in this one place, in this one heart. That sense of knowing goes far beyond your mental state, far beyond your emotional state. Peacefulness. And it's rhythmic, like the moon. Pulses, follows a rhythm, a divine order. But you feel connected to that divine order. Everything is right. Now through your heart chakra, see yourself on a path. Path can be anywhere you like, but you can see your way ahead. Feel the ground under your feet. What sort of path is it? Smell the air. And feel the wind on your face. And just hear the sounds around you. And you can see a little way back, a little way forward, a little bit to the sides if you want. Maybe when looking back, there may be some sadness or regret. Looking forward, maybe a little bit of anxiety. But when you come back to your body, come back to your heart, there's a knowingness that this is the right journey to be on. And then you realize you have a bag. Now your bag may be tiny, might be a huge trunk, like be a rucksack. And in this bag, there are things that you've carried forward, things that remind you who you are, maybe given to you by your mentors, maybe things you've collected which are essential now. But there's also things in the bag that perhaps people gave to you and it doesn't belong to you. Their emotions, their worries, their dreams, they're not yours. So please look at your bag, take out all the things that do not belong to you or no longer serve you. You may or may not be able to name them all at this moment. Just give you a few minutes there just to take things out of your bag. And you may decide to leave things just at the side of the road, or you may decide to give things back to someone, or if I may say, you may even decide to burn them. Or maybe if there's water nearby, dissolve them in the water. Do as you need to with them. And now carefully put things into the bag that you want to take. Maybe things that you've just taken out of the bag, put them back in if you have emptied your bag completely. Just fill the bag again with things you want to take forward. And maybe you can name them, especially 3 things. Maybe it's courage. Maybe it's determination. Maybe it's curiosity. What are the things that really need to be in your bag? Compassion. And now you're surprised to see there's one mentor, one person. They may be a person that you remember from your childhood, maybe a person who's passed over. They may even just be an angelic being, but there's a person stepping forward as a mentor. And they see you, they know who you are. And they're so proud that you're on this journey. And they're giving you something to put in your bag. Receive it now. And when you are ready, say goodbye to them. Or they may choose to walk with you a little way, that'd be fine. And then take those steps along your path towards your future, taking your bag with you. Maybe lighter, maybe smaller, whatever it is, move forward. Feel the determination in your feet, the strengthening of your resolve. Bringing that back into your heart. Gently bring your awareness back into the room where you are. Opening your eyes when you're ready. And as always, just write a note of your findings. It's always the best way of keeping these memories, keeping your awareness, your strength. And I'll see you again. Enjoy this first quarter moon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the HeartSpeak podcast with Dr. Christine Page. Please check out all HeartSpeak episodes in the podcast archive section on www.christinepage.com. HeartSpeak is also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and now playing on iHeartRadio. You can also watch the archive podcasts on YouTube. Connect with Christine on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, including her newest Facebook group, The Great Mother Calling. Do share with family, friends, colleagues. Join us next time for another edition of HeartSpeak.